On left-hand side, the red Protoss is going to be PiLiPiLi. Play for Storm Gaming, of course. And, well, Runes of Endian for the TvP here. Quite close by air, I just gotta say.
Yes, I mean, getting across the map is pretty easy peasy. However, though,
not if you go Stargate.
Not if you go Stargate. It's especially if you go Stargate.
Yeah, I know. Like, we could talk about Stargate for ever.
Stargate is really good in PvT, actually. I mean, you get that Oracle.
Of course it is.
Sorry, I just noticed what I was doing there because, like, you sort of baited me into that.
Yeah,
as we're
I was
like,
making it as a joke, and then you like swallow it completely.
Yeah, like
Stargate's actually
hook and sinker everything.
Yeah, I'm like, do you know what's really good on this map? Stargate. You're like, Stargate's actually really good on this map.
It's a really good way to open.
Do you want to know another map? Let's say Arena is really
Arena
good.
is another brilliant Stargate map.
Yeah, Dusk Towers.
Yeah, especially if you proxy it, then it's even better.
Man, you and your Stargate, you silly, silly man. Right now, Master is going to go for a bit of a one Rax Expo without the Reaper. Gonna scout off with the SCV. But nothing weird yet. No Stargate yet.
No, so, I mean, right now, PiLiPiLi, he did have a pretty good game there versus Scarlet, and probably feeling quite good about himself in that, because especially in their Endian game, things were looking a little bit dicey after that mid engagement in the mid game. But he managed to pull himself back, and Scarlet, of course, desperately tried to get to those Brood Lords, just not in time. TvP, though, plays out completely differently, and you're not going to be seeing this same mass of armies clashing together. There's going to be a whole lot of smaller skirmishes going on. You'll have these drops. Of course, Warp Prism play very strong here for the Protoss as well if you go for those Adept drops. So we'll see what these guys decide to do.
Yeah, and of course, the winner between these two players will be facing the winner between Huck and Bales in the lower side of the bracket in the losers finals, and then coming up for the final, the losers semi-finals, and come up in the finals against Jon Snow. I think I'm correct there, right?
Yes, yes.
There we are.
Good job, Alex. Well done.
Thank you.
That was a very strong performance from you tonight.
That's a literal pat on the back.
A literal pat on the back.
I've been waiting 20 years for that.
It never came until now.
One tear of joy right now.
Just a single tear.
Yes.
And it like splashes down very loudly on the floor as well. Now, anyway, Robo starts here for PiLiPiLi, and, you know, going into a drop here wouldn't be all too bad, really. I think the Adept drop in PvT, although it is considerably weaker, just because of that slight nerf that we had, which is actually quite significant, it's still a really good way to open up because it keeps the Terran on his side of the map. Terran generally, you want to be aggressive towards the Protoss, because if you allow them to get away with a quick third base, if they can just tech as wildly as they want, whether you have like 4 Stalkers and then all the other tech in the game, all of a sudden you're going to find yourself in a very dicey position, because Protoss, much like Zerg, if you let them be, that's when they really start powering up.
Well, PiLiPiLi deciding to go into that Twilight right after the Robo. So we might see something interesting here.
Resonating Glaives.
Yeah, we definitely
Maybe a Dark
could.
Shrine.
Oh, you think a Dark Shrine?
Yeah, I'd like a Dark Shrine.
You'd like one?
I'd like one.
We're going to see if that's going to be the true thing here, though. It looks like he's clicking on the Twilight.
It's going to be Resonating Glaives.
Yeah.
The scan goes down. And he's going up to 150 gas. Perhaps he wants to hide that he's going to be researching something.
Yeah, what is it going to be?
5 gas away from Dark Shrine. Blink.
Blink.
Ah, okay.
Well, Blink we like. And we're going to see the Robo first. We're going to see, of course, the Observer being able to see everything. And PiLiPiLi right now go up to 2 Observers. Master, though, he could find this one. I mean, it's right on top of his army. Gotta be careful.
This is very smart, though. Master getting that Raven right away. I think he was anticipating a potential Dark Shrine play. So, Raven is very costly, don't get me wrong. But if you go up to 3 bases and you keep that Raven sticking around for a bit, it's quite nice in order to be able to snipe those Observers. You can use those point defense drones as well on the defense. But for now, I mean, defensive blink here for PiLiPiLi as he's taking his 3rd Nexus.
I actually want to mention that since he didn't see a chrono onto that Twilight, and he might not have caught exactly the gas timings because there was a pretty late second gas there for PiLiPiLi, he might have definitely thought it was a Dark Shrine. Not just because it could be, but also because he didn't see anything researching because there was a lack of chrono.
So, I mean, if you let that Raven finish, he's going to slow things down just a little bit. It's very gas intensive for the Terran. But I mean, for now, PiLiPiLi very happy with this, that he gets away with this third base virtually unpunished. We actually see 2 more barracks going down here for Masa. And I mean, this is going to give him quite a significant amount of production. No third command center just yet. +1 starts here for the Protoss as well. So just a very slow first game here between these two, but the aggression can very quickly ramp up.
Indeed. And well, Master right now, of course, we did see him play very well before. Gonna see, though, if he can keep this up, because PiLiPiLi, he's going for this kind of defensive blink. It's gonna be on 3 base, and here on Runes of Endian, I feel the best way to play it out in most scenarios is to have pretty solid defense in your in your main against the kind of drops, so you don't have to have too many units there. Then place those cannons towards the rocks in your third, because it also detects, or rather defends against drops from the northern side. So I think on this map you can actually deal quite well with drops, but hey, enough about drops, because right now we have Blinkstalker in the base of Master, and we see a lot of gateways coming down here for PiLiPiLi.
This is very nice that he's going to be able to put a little bit of pressure on. There's no third base here for the Terran, so as the game goes on, the Protoss is going to have a better advantage, just because of the fact that he's got that third base. Forces a stim of the entire army, will have to force a blink away. Gets the Observer though, which of course is a nice pick-off. But I mean, at this point in time, Masa, he's just massing up this huge 2-base army with lots of medevacs, a lot of tanks. He's going to have 1-1 when he moves out as well. So the army for the Terran is going to be very, very strong. However, it's up to PiLiPiLi to identify that there's going to be a big impending assault, because he doesn't have any sort of AoE tech going on right now. Instead, he's just relying on what we see out of him there, the +1, the Resonating Glaives, Immortals. I really want to see him get some splash damage in the field, because it's going to be very tough for him to stop this very, very big assault from the Terran if he doesn't prepare himself accordingly.
There we go, the final gateway does turn into Warp Gate. I was kind of worried there for a second. But Master right now, yes, he skipped out on that third base for some time. Now, he's going to have a very potent army. He's way up in supply, and now he's starting to push out. This is the timing. Master's going kind of all in with this move. He needs to deal some super big damage. He needs to kill off a base, he needs to kill off the army. He might even try to win the entire game. But PiLiPiLi has been adding a ton of these adepts. He's really looking to hold this without trying to overtake.
One of the things with this push, I mean, it's the function of it is to hit before the Protoss has the Onyx Storm, because that's what changes the game. However, though, there's not even going to be a Templar Archives on the map here for the Protoss, and all of these tanks in these medevacs, the Raven, of course, still sticking around for that point defense drone, together with a bunch of SCVs. This is a really powerful army, and PiLiPiLi, he doesn't know where it's going to be striking from. He's actually seeing it now with this Observer, and there's going to be a ton of pressure coming his way. Looking at the army supply, they're fairly close, in fact, but these tanks, they really changed the whole situation. If he can land some good volleys, he's going to be in good shape. But lots of adepts swinging in here towards the army. Is he going to commit? I don't think he should.
No, not without the rest of his army. Oh, he
there
does!
We go.
And those siege tanks might actually start hitting his own units, but oh my god, those adepts, not a chance!
Did you see those point defense drones? They were actually huge in this fight, because they absorbed so many of those adept shots, and now, because he's got the high ground vision, he can still continuously shell up in towards this natural. Time Warp goes down, but Masa still doubling his opponent in that army supply, and he's now got a Liberator on the way as well. He's going to be rallying units across towards PiLiPiLi, and there's nothing he can do right now to take back this ground. It's going to be so hard for him. He's going to wrap around this tank and go for the blink down as well. Very nice here from the Protoss, but there's more units streaming in for the Terran. It's going to get really dicey.
Yeah, and Master right now crushing the army of PiLiPiLi. Here it comes with Stim, with a +1 in combat shields. Just so much DPS. And Pili losing his entire army, even the Liberator, to add insult to injury. Nothing left for our Protoss. I mean, he's just, you know, delaying the inevitable right now.
Yeah, man, those point defense drones, they really did so much here for the Terran, because I was concerned when he went in there that the friendly fire was going to hurt a lot of the bio, and of course combine that with the DPS from these adepts that have that +1 attack, that he'd be shredding those Marines, but no, sir. Point defense drone is completely changing everything. I didn't even think that it was going to be as impactful as it was, but at the end, here we are on the second map in this best out of 3, Invader, with the first player up here on the left. It is going to be PiLiPiLi.
And his opponent in the top right-hand side is going to be Master. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on Invader with the horizontal spawns, not the vertical ones.
No, so this is definitely a position where going into Tempest can be very strong, because as you can see between the two bases, there's a ton of airspace, and it's actually a lot harder for the Terran to maneuver around and threaten or rather safeguard the mineral line from those Tempest shots, just because of how there's so little space to move around. They're right behind the minerals if you look in the base of the Terran. And, well, we haven't seen it just yet, but I can definitely see it being a powerful tool, because, I mean, if it works on Arena, where the main base is very exposed, I think it can do very well here as well. But bear in mind that you don't have the same sort of choke area in the center. So if a Terran decides to move forward and just put on the frontal pressure, it's going to arrive a lot quicker, and it's going to be a lot harder to stop, because you cannot just simply plant down a force field and keep him out.
Well, we will see. We will see what's going to happen. Master right now deciding to go into a very quick, or not very quick, sorry, he's going into the 1-Rax expand, looks like, and getting that reactor right away. Gonna be able to get a few of those Marines, of course, so nothing out of the ordinary just yet. I always keep hoping, though, for some cheese or some all-ins when you are here at match point, and in a best out of 3 as Master, I mean, maybe not the proxy factory, but maybe just going for, I don't know, I'm thinking right now what the strongest build would be. Maybe going a bit into what we saw from, who was that? Was it Polt? Yeah, it was Polt who kept going for those kind of ghost timings.
Yeah, those are like slightly peculiar builds, very specific, but if you can work them out correctly, they're going to be very strong, because it really challenges the Protoss army's presence with the ability to drain the shields, you knock out the High Templar energy and stuff like that. And I mean, he made it work a couple of times there when he faced off against Neeb. However, though, these are two different kinds of players, and while Polt loves his mass drop styles, where he goes for these, he peels off a couple of medevacs and sends them around 3 or 4. You usually see only 1 or 2. But Polt goes very heavy on those drops. We haven't seen that just yet here from Masa. He actually barely had the opportunity to drop his opponent in the previous game. So maybe this is the right map to do it on, because airspace very, very quick to cover for both of these players.
PiLiPiLi's choice of tech is going to be that Robo. Gotta see what he follows up with, but wouldn't be too surprised to see him try for a drop later. But yeah, it's always good, I feel, as a player who's down right now. You can face a lot of different kind of all-ins and pressures to get at least a few of those observers out, so you know what's going on, especially on Invader, where you have such a close buyout position.
I like this, that he went into the mineral line, trying to find some information, but maybe pick off an SCV or 2. However, though, he doesn't know exactly what's coming his way unless he saw the double gas. So, for now, don't really know what to expect. Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. He actually saw the fact. He saw the whole thing, so he knows that it is, in fact, there is potential for a drop. The stop is a little bit delayed, though, because of the second Drax that Masa added in here. So he's going to go for Stim, and for now, it's with this second tech lab, I'm curious if it's just going to be for siege tanks. I mean, I guess that's what it's going to be.
The second tech lab on which one?
Oh no, he's actually going to go Liberator now. So
yeah. So right now,
no, he's queuing up a tank. This is
tank and a medevac.
Yeah, so that supply block made things a little awkward for him.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, still supply block, by the way. So
still, oh yeah, that's.
Or no, he's not supply block, but he's gonna be. And he's not adding any supply depots. He's gonna have to use a supply cooldown if he can afford one. Just gonna drop the mules, be supply blocked, and instead add a supply depot. You can't just be adding one at a time, though, Master. What's going on here?
Yeah, perhaps nerves getting to him a little bit, which I find funny, because I mean he's up 1 game in this series. However, though, the drop is going to come in from PiLiPiLi, who's got the rather quick third base behind this. The blink has started as well, and now with these adepts coming in, he's going to go for the focus on the Widowmine. Not going to find it. Goes for the pickup, so he saves the adept, but his brethren take some of that splash damage.
Master right now coming in for the scout. We'll find this Marine. But once again, Master right now, supply blocked. This is happening over and over again. He's adding 1 more supply depot. You can't just be adding 1 at a time. Like, because when you supply block, you need to add an extra one because you're queuing up so many things at the same time. So, man, Master, he's really struggling with this.
Yeah, the army is going to be considerably smaller for him than what you'd otherwise see. This is a nice pickup micro, though, from PiLiPiLi. He's killing these Marines very cost-effectively. Will have to get out of there eventually. But now, I mean, he's bought a lot of time for himself. He's got Blink on the way. He's adding in all the gateways that he needs. The Robo is still here, so he has the addition, or rather the option to add in an additional Immortal if he feels that he wants to have a little bit of extra strength and like a stability to his army. But he's still not done. He's got this drop still going on.
He does, and right now Master trying to focus down these most injured adepts. Nice micro from both sides. Gonna try to pick up here and leave though is PiLiPiLi. He's really distracting Master, who's microing heavily, and once again finds the supply block. Like, this is constantly happening because he adds one supply depot, no supply cooldown, and when he finishes this one supply depot in a few moments, he supply blocks himself again.
Yeah.
So it's getting a bit awkward here for Master, but you know, he's still going to attempt this kind of drop. Already though, we have all these Stalkers with Blink ready to meet and greet this little drop.
Yes, a couple of probes actually falling, not reacting right away. There we go, blinks forward, takes down the medevac. He's going to lose a Stalker or two in this exchange. No, sir, goes for the probes instead. So 7 workers killed in total, bringing PiLiPiLi down to a total of 53 probes to the 42 SCVs of Master. But I want to take a look here in the base of the Terran. How many racks is he working with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. And this time, though, he's not focusing on that siege tank production. So, I mean, he's still going to be building a very big army. Yeah. Ghost Academy comes down. That's where the additional gas was going. And, well, I mean, you mentioned this before, Alex, and it looks as if he's going to be copying or taking a page out of the Book of Polt.
It looks like it. Here comes the Adept, though, once again into that mineral line. And, well, nice here for PiLiPiLi. He deals a lot of AoE damage thanks to that tank. But, of course, now the more important push outs here with those Blink Stalkers, finding that one Marine. PiLiPiLi is playing this game so well. He has a huge lead right now, and he's adding such a big portion of it to his army.
Oh, keeps the Prism alive. Very important.
Oh, definitely. Master right now, he will stay on 2 bases and go for something similar that I talked about earlier, like the Polt kind of style with Liberators and Ghosts. But right now, PiLiPiLi, he will just have such a huge army in a few moments because he doesn't need to add many more workers. So we're going to see. He also scouts no third, so he's got to be really careful at this point.
Yeah, the difficulty, though, in holding this push from the Terran is, of course, if he lands those key EMPs on top of your army as Protoss. So he's going to have to spread himself out very thinly across a long line in order to avoid letting Master get those EMPs that he so importantly needs. 3 Ghosts now in production, loses a medevac, a little clumsy here from Master. But he's going to be able to at least kill a Stalker or 2. Marauders now spin forward. And this is very nice. Anything that he can kill before the big attack is always going to be helping Master.
No concussive shells, by the way.
Oh, no, that's a bit of a slip up here.
So, that's interesting. Well, he's going to add more Ghosts to this army. He still has the 1 tank in his main base, which might get picked up. Yeah, there we are. And more Liberators been added. So it's all about dealing with these Liberators. Losing a few of those Stalkers kind of hurt here for PiLiPiLi. He's going to need every single one right now to deal with this. And now here comes the army from Master. It's all about this one engagement. I mean, or rather one fight. Because,
he needs to be careful though. The medevac gets low. Is going to get taken out. Luckily, he saves that tank. Very important. Ghost leads the way. Small stim forward here because right now, bear in mind, Master is not entirely certain what he's going to be running into. A ton of Blink Stalkers here, in fact, for PiLiPiLi, and if he can catch some of these units on the way, that's going to be great. Gets the Liberator already, EMP goes down, but of course you can just back off and regenerate those shields, and this is great what PiLiPiLi is doing. He's just buying time. This is exactly what he needs to be doing.
He has so many Adepts as well. He can just actually shade on top of his entire army, or rather Master's entire army. We have to remember, though, that these EMPs can land on top of the Adepts if you do that. So right now, PiLiPiLi with a huge army, he does have a lot of units. He's so far up in supply right now. Master is really delayed in this attack, but he's still going to try to make it work.
It's going to be so hard, though. I mean, the supply 121 to 100, and if he holds on or if they trade 50-50, the 3rd base, if it stays up for the Protoss, Master is still going to be in a world of trouble, but now he's finding a very good angle here to fight in, and he's got 2 more Liberators coming in. He's going to be sieging up here towards this 3rd base, and now the pressure is mounting.
Well, Master right now sieging up this base. Here comes the Adepts. Are they going to finish? It looks like it. Right now, PiLiPiLi is setting up, and here we are. Shades finish up. Everything happening at the same time. Nice EMPs on top of those Adepts, on top of these Stalkers as well, but there's just way too much for Pili.
Oh
way too much. Crushing this army. And
GG.
GG. We have an equal series on our hands.
Yeah, he hit him from all... There we are. With our first player down in the bottom right in the red, it is going to be PiLiPiLi.
Of course, his opponent, not playing for Psystorm, instead playing for Team Elevate, is going to be Master. And there we go, GLHF for both players, and we are going. One of these players now going to be eliminated, the other one going to go ahead and play against the winner between Huck and Bales.
So, I mean, we could have another potential PvP on our hands, depending on how this goes.
Otherwise, we're going to have another TvP on our hands.
Yes.
Where are all the Zergs?
I mean, they're out. The only one remaining in this is, of course, Jon Snow, who's waiting for... once these two series have been concluded, the winner is going to be facing off against Jon Snow in that PvZ. So, potentially, we'll have double Protoss qualifying for DreamHack Texas. Or maybe a Protoss and a Zerg. I mean, we'll have to see. Could even have a Terran. Who knows? It's all going to come down to this game. And then the next one after that.
And then the next one after that. Actually, no. But yes, we're going to see right now a pretty quick Nexus from PiLiPiLi. And Master, well, he's opening up quite standard as well. The thing is, I keep saying it, but I just want one of these players to go for an all-in. Like, or even Cheese. Like, I just want to see one of the players say, hey, you are scouting pretty well, I like it, but you're not scouting for my 2-base all-in. Like, if I could just go for a ton of gateways, go for my Stalkers, you won't be able to hold it, especially on Frozen Temple, for instance. It's a great map to go for that kind of Blink Stalk all-in. I just feel that either player could get away with it because we've seen so much macro play that I think the opponent would be surprised for anything really that wouldn't be considered ordinary.
I mean, we've just in general had rather slow games, players opting in to go for those longer macro styles. And I mean, as good as it gets, and I think it's just fine to play that way, not switching up your style or being very assertive in a series like this, I mean, it can cost you because we've seen a couple of times already, not only today, but yesterday and the day before that, players who could have gone in and won with a very dedicated attack. Yeah. It goes to longer game and the opportunity slips between their fingers and then that's game. Then they end up dying in the end. So really hoping we're going to be seeing some sort of pressure starting here from perhaps PiLiPiLi because he's got that Twilight Council on the way, but already we've just seen so often players opting in to go for those resonating glaives.
Yeah, and it is so common. We're going to see, though, going to be looking for that Robo. Of course, I'm going to see what his choice will be. Adept right now coming in here, trying to poke a bit. Interesting position here with the bunker. Won't be covering too much of the natural, but kind of could trap the Adept. Coming into the main, though, didn't raise that bunker. That's a bit of a mistake. Might get a few of these workers. Nice micro from Master. We'll save at least one of them. But, oh, wow. The Adept micro kind of slipping here. Getting only one SCV so far. Where are those Marines, though? There we are.
There they are in the mineral line, finally saving the day. Blink starts, chronoing that Twilight Council, but a perfectly timed scan for Master is going to see exactly everything. The timing of the gateways as well. And we haven't had that robot added just yet here for PiLiPiLi. If you want to go for Blink all in, you really want to have that robotics. And there it is, going to go down. So hopefully, I mean, for now, this could as well also be a very defensive Blink. But I'm judging by the map, I hope it's going to be for a lot of pressure. We just haven't seen that just yet, but I mean, come on, PiLiPiLi.
Yeah, the problem though being that that was a very decent scan. And
decent scan, it's like the best scan in the history of scans.
Well, I won't go that far.
Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration.
A bit, just a tad bit.
More gateways though, no third base.
Oh man, 3 more gateways.
Here we are, boys, finally in the last
7
game.
gates.
And he's also only mining 3 gas. This is it. This is going to be the big one.
I love this. I mean, you don't just have to think about winning. You also have to think about the audience. And right now, PiLiPiLi is certainly doing that. So he's going to put on a lot of aggression right now towards Master. Master having this one Marine ready for the War Prism. But Master's added a siege tank.
Does he have... He's got a 1-1-1 infrastructure, doesn't he? Can we take a look in the base here?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, he does. And this Blink is the perfect way to play versus what we're seeing out of Master. He scouted this with that Adept. He got in and saw exactly everything. He's even going to clear the tower. He's being so diligent. I'm loving this. Keeping Master completely in the dark. And now Liberator starts, but that's not going to help all too much. The siege tanks, that's what it's about. He's got one in a decent position, but it's still quite exposed. The medevac will have to be very quick on the pickup because now Blink, done in 5 seconds. The War Prism is out. An Observer on the way as well, and PiLiPiLi is starting to make his move.
And PiLiPiLi, of course, he was denying all the scouting here for Master. So he's going to now move across the map. He's got a lot of Stalkers to warp in right now, together with that War Prism. And here we go, PiLiPiLi getting ready for the aggression. Only one bunker. He's building right now one. Master that is on the high ground, but that's a late one. No units to fill in just yet. And if PiLiPiLi gets the high ground vision, he could definitely go for that. The Liberator wouldn't be ready for that either.
This is very tough. Blinks forward, takes down one of the Liberator, actually knocks down the tank and the Liberator. Tank number 2 is going to die. Medevac does save it at the very last second, but there's so much here for the Protoss, going so fast in this game. And all of a sudden losing all of the base to this army. He's only got the Cyclone to work with, and this should be game. I mean, holding this is next to impossible at this point in time when you lose all of those power units in one go.
And well, that siege tank as well is so far away from being done. Right now he's pulling a lot of SCVs here to be able to repair, but there we go, Cyclone dies right away. That bunker goes down as well. And now we see PiLiPiLi killing off Marine after Marine. Master's base is in shambles, and beautiful strategy and decision making from our Protoss.
Yeah, great execution, blinks forward. That's going to be the end of this run here for Master, and PiLiPiLi will advance forward. And that means that he is going to be facing off against Huck.